Howdy. So I made this fake trailer for Demonoid, and I'm going to break down pretty much every shot right now, so I hope you enjoy it. Alright, so right before we jump into this gnarly shot-by-shot breakdown, I'm going to just quickly, and you can skip this if you're not interested, just go over my references, kind of inspiration, because obviously, you know, the idea came of like, oh, what if I made a horror, like those classic horror trailers, those kind of grindhousey trailers, do it in Blender and have it become increasingly surreal. So it starts off as a pretty genero, like late 70s, early 80s slasher clone. And then as it moves through the trailer, it's like, wait a minute, is this about a chick with telekinesis? And then, oh, wait a minute, what there's aliens suddenly? Wait, I thought that this is based on a true story? What is it, based on a novel by Stephen King? Wait, is this a short story by, what? So yeah, it like slowly increases in how surreal it is, and it becomes like, wait, what am I even watching? What is this a trailer for? So first thing was, immediately when the idea hit me, I wrote down as many shots as I could. Every shot that came to mind, I wrote it down. So you can see feet walking with axe raised into light, man running through woods. You know, I ended up making quite a few of these. So I instantly was like, okay, let me gather some resources. So I made this, I just started YouTubing horror trailers, grindhouse trailers, and I put the ones that I liked into this playlist right here. I even Googled like surrealist images, surreal horror images. There's a lot of trash out there, but I put a few that I liked into this folder. Actually, only one ended up getting made, but it's a nice shot, so it was worth doing that to at least get the ball rolling. I recommend, like, you have an idea, be true to the idea. Don't try and shape the idea into something that better, like that you think you should be doing. Oh, that was a cool idea, but I'd rather do. What if it was more like no. That initial instinct of the idea that hit you, just follow through with that. Gather as many resources as you can so that it's almost like the dam is about to burst. And you really get the, that energy going of like, okay, I have all of this resource. I'm ready. I'm feeling like gas to start. And then you start and the dam breaks and you feel like really good. Nightmare Weekend. This is a good one.
Nightmare Weekend. A group of college students.
Yeah, so you get the idea. In fact, actually, I think Madman, this was the one that really inspired my trailer. It's just the lighting. You see that blue light, sort of shadowy, Nosferatu-y. That's what, yeah. So you just kind of gather a few reference materials. This is even where I found the name Demonoid. Was actually a real film that also is called Macabre. There's a US title and a UK title. Anyway, it's not so much about copying individual shots as it is it's just being tuned into the kind of style of this, sort of genre and era of cinema. I find it very helpful and recommend doing it because as much as you may think you have the idea perfectly kind of defined in your head, even if you've written it down, let's say. You'll have these reference points. Some people may be embarrassed about their reference points. Like they'll go, oh, my shit's completely original. Well, if that's what you think, you're lying to yourself. Now, I know this isn't a video on the philosophy behind creation and creating art. But I just think, regardless of whether or not it's good or bad, you should just want to create stuff. And often an idea will come and then one will try and kind of shape it to be closer to one's idea of what one wants to be making as an artist after the idea has come. It should be telling you what it is. You shouldn't be telling it what it is. I hope that makes some kind of sense, but just be true to the inspirational voice, just to be true to that idea. Because, even if you think you're being original, you're not, you will have nicked that from somewhere, something or other. And there's no shame in that. That's actually excellent. That's wonderful. So embrace that. Go with that. Because, even if you try and copy something perfectly, you won't be able to. You'll get a little bit of your flavor, a little bit of your own personal sauce onto that anyway. Have no shame in gathering resources and inspiration. It's all good. The stakes are low. Like, enjoy yourself. Have fun. So that's that. So once I'd gathered all of my kind of reference materials, I didn't want to waste any more time. So yeah, I went straight into Blender. So we are going to do this in sequential order, but I just want to show you this shot first, which comes a little bit later on. Just this one of the house coming up here, because this has all the techniques basically in it, and it's a great way of me explaining just a few things up front so that I don't have to explain them for every single project file moving forward, because I'm essentially using the same technique. So this plane right here, that is a thing that's going to be in most shots. It's a, as you can see, it's a plane with a bit of smoke on it. That's in a kind of, it's in repeating, steam actually. You can see here, this is the textures. It's just a mixed shader with a transparent, translucent. Obviously, you've got the image plugged into the factor with cyclic checked, so that it loops and auto refresh as well. So where I got this, and where I got quite a few things for not only this project but almost every Blender animation I do, is that, you know him, you got to know. It's Ian Hubert's Patreon, obviously. So if you're not subscribed to this, and you're a lazy Blenderer who doesn't want to, make these things themselves, like me, this is the only place to go. I mean, it's like a $5 a month. All these project files, you can download them. It's excellent. So if you're not, I would assume most people watching this will know about that. But if they don't, get on with that. Trust me, it's worth it. In fact, about to show you another reason why it's worth it. You see my camera? The way I have that kind of natural movement, it's not very time consuming. It's just the Camera Shakeify add-on. I have 2 presets there. You can see here if I I can add a preset. I'll just show you how it works quickly. If I put on, say, Handycam Run, you see that, and I can even keyframe the intensity. It's extremely easy to use, very powerful. Again, Hubert's Patreon. Of course, there are other camera shake add-ons, but Ian Hubert kind of inspired me to kind of step up my game in Blender. So I'm very happy to have his to pay him £5 a month for that, and especially considering the amount of resources. I mean, the amount of stuff on that Patreon. It's like I struggle to think of anything more worth it if you are a Blender artist who's making little films that you're not, they're just for you. You're a bit lazy. Now, this is the old way. Obviously, you can just do it with curves, and that's how I used to animate cameras, was curves. But it's long. I mean, who cares? It just takes forever. Forget it. Download the Camera Shakeify add-on. Way better. I'm sure there are other add-ons like this guy here, for example. Haven't tried it, can't vouch. But anyway, let's look at the opening shot. So the opening shot is this shot of this house. So let's open up the project file. Here we are. So as you can see, it's pretty simple. Just 2 massive grass planes, large cube of volume, and a house just chucked in there. This grass plane is a model. So pretty much all my models are from Sketchfab. This one is they're all free models from Sketchfab. So shout out to Steve Colmer for making North Stanley Hill. So I downloaded this sucker and just got rid of the bunker, deleted all the geometry of the bunker, and just put another one on top at an angle to kind of cover it. I mean, you can actually see the holes are kind of still visible, to be honest. But it doesn't matter. I'm shooting it from below, so fine. You see these little grass things that are moving? Obviously, not all the grass is moving. That would be insane to simulate. So I just stole the little ones that are closest to the camera, separated the geometry of them, and actually just animated those by hand. Put the 3D origin, the origin point at the bottom, and just move just animated the rotation, with auto keyframing. That way it looks like they're all moving, but they're not. I should mention, everything's in Eevee. I'm doing all of this in Eevee. In terms of lighting, I have a massive area light with blue. That gives it the silhouette thing. And then I have a point light that's, varying in intensity, orbiting the building. So that way you get shadows on both sides of the building, interacting with both sides. And that cube is literally just a massive volume scatter with anisotropy at 0.767, density at 0.050. Simple as that. Gives it that classic kind of silhouetted, Hitchcockian vibe. So I'll just quickly show you this is how it looks coming out of After Effects. So I have a few things going on here. I have a Red Giant VHS plugin on top. I have some levels. Obviously, I got this title here. I put a little dark solid behind it, so the title's slightly more readable, but it's dropping in opacity. That's a nice little trick. That, I mean, it's pretty obvious, but and then I pre-compose all of that, duplicate the base layer, add a channel blur on the red channel of 22, set the blend mode to lighten with an opacity of 44 on top of that, and that kind of simulates a very lightweight halation. Super recommend that, kind of do that with everything. On top of that, another levels just to push it even further into the kind of, that kind of blue Madman color palette thing. Yeah. Next shot, what is it? Playground. Okay. Very similar to the first shot. I don't want to waste too much time when these shots are so similar, so just quickly touch on like what I did. Search for Playground in Sketchfab. Abandoned Playground. Let's try that. Yeah, there we go. This is the model. You can see it's already animated, so that's perfect for a lazy bastard like me. I just fucking download that cocksucker, throw it onto the grass plane. Again, have those steam layers just in the foreground. It's that, animate the camera. A little bit of Shakeify. Yeah, you're done. That's it. You're done. Cool. Moving on. Next shot. Okay, this is slightly bodacious. This is a fence shot. You can see what's going on here. There's quite a lot going on here. Yeah, so we have this section of forest, which I have to say that this piece of forest is extremely useful. What I like about it is it's kind of modular, so it's you can kind of just combine loads of them. It's sort of like that, but not cartoony. Not sure where it is. Anyway, I guarantee you it's on Sketchfab. Like I say, pretty much 100% of the models I download and have are free models from Sketchfab. This is woods. So we've got this model here. This again, just some photo scan of a graveyard. I just kind of put it in a ground plane. This is all very lazy. These patches of grass will be from that North Stanley Hill model. I would have just put them in a collection, and appended them from, I would have put a few grass clumps in a collection and appended them. And just put them into this. Just a few models of trees. I think the real thing that's like bringing this all together are these like vines that I put on a plane, subdivided the plane, and did a very just a little cloth sim on that. That I think is what's really doing this, and then having the smoke or steam or whatever, the mist moving through the graves in the. I don't know. This one just came together. It just looked right. There's something missing here. There we go. It's the steam, the mist. Cool. So, you see, what's interesting is those particles there that are flying around, they were supposed to be rain, but they're kind of big and with the motion blur on, they ended up looking like leaves, which I liked, so I just left it. I left it as is. So I got this guy. You can see if I move him over there, it's like less defined. I move him slightly higher, you get the lower bushes it's like placing the lights in areas that create pleasing shapes. Just easy on the eyes is kind of the thing you're looking for. That's that. Again, the whole thing is just bathed in a volume scatter with anisotropy, and as you can see, to make these particles go mental, like my force fields are pretty. I have a force field just going wild there with keyframing different strengths, and I think I've even got a turbulence in there doing something. So to get that kind of organic feeling movement, it is a little bit of work. You do need to change the setting, tweak it, change the setting, tweak it for the particle system stuff. But, you know, it is what it is. Okay, moving on. You know what, I will quickly show you this forest shot, even though it's basically the same as what we were just looking at, just quickly to show you how cheeky you can get with one element. That's that same forest piece, like 6 times in a row, with a bit of volume behind it, and a huge area light, and you're done, son. I mean, you are done, you know, and that takes no longer than 4 minutes to make this project file. And like I say, it's easy. It's like you're not getting bogged down with anything. You know, yeah, it's just great. That's fun. That's the aesthetic right there. Make all sorts of Twin Peaks renders with that sort of thing. So yeah, that's that. And you can see, excuse me, you can see here. Here, I'll just quickly show you this shot. I know I said I wouldn't do this for every shot, but just, yeah. Boom, VHS, levels, another VHS on top. Varying opacities. I'm sure there'll be a reason why I'm splitting that into 2 different VHS adjustment layers. I don't know why, but there'll be a reason, and don't worry about it. So, there we go. You see, it like, to me, that looks great. That looks like a grainy shot of a forest from a 80s movie trailer. So, f***ing awesome. Right, moving on. What's next? Guy running, dude turning. Okay, well, most of this is similar. You know, it's like that guy running is a Mixamo model with the run. You know, it's just in that same forest set. It's not really worth opening that project file. You know what we will do? I'll open the axe to the head. Here we go. So this is quite a lazy... well, this is just to show you how lazy you can be if you know your camera angle. Well, so that's the thing that I try and do, is settle on the angle of the camera, settle on the shot early. Like, in fact, with all of these, I knew the shot I wanted before I even did the first step, so that you can really just build to that, as opposed to you build up your scene and then you figure out how you're going to shoot it and, like, you know, from what angle. This is like, no, I'm following the axe down, bang, goes into the dude's head. So I know I'm going to do it very shallow depth of field. I'm going to be very tight. So I don't need to fucking waste hours animate. Look at that animation. Look at that. That's appalling. Even look at the guy. Look at that. But let's look at it through the camera. That's fine. I mean, look, it could be better. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not saying that's great, but that's fine. I know the speed. I know it's like it's an impactful moment. But as you can see, look, even without the depth of field, you can't get away with that. You need that very shallow depth of field, and I knew I was going to go with that. So I could get away with not spending forever on a shot. Quickly, let's open it up in After Effects. I promise I won't do this for every shot. It's just I just quite like to see how different it looks. So here it is, yeah, straight out of Blender. And then here's with that first round of 3 adjustment layers, 1 levels and 2 VHSs at different settings. The levels just adds a bit of blue to the mids and contrast, and then again the fake halation with another levels. And look at that. I think that looks great, personally. Okay, moving on. I'm going to skip the graveyard shit because it's just a photo scan of a graveyard. That's all it is. So let's go straight to... Oh, yeah. Let's go straight to the child's room. Okay, yeah, this is a really quick one. Yeah, just a room. Obviously, I did the curtains. I did assigned a pin group at the top, and then did a cloth simulation, probably using the cotton preset. The one thing that's tough is in Eevee getting that kind of transparency to look. I mean, it's not tough, but it's got to get a translucent BSDF into a translucent BSDF into a mix shader, and then obviously whatever color. I mean, I don't need a principle. I could have just had a color there. Yeah, bit of wind. You know, you're keyframing the wind in wild directions like before. That's it. Moving on. That's what it looks like. Animated that sucker by hand. Span it round. That's it. You know, popped a light there. Moving on. Okay, cool. So this is a shot. This is one of my favorites, actually. So here, I'll show you the original. This is from a movie called Happy Birthday to Me. Highly recommend it. But check out this. So this is the original shot. Look how late they are on that up-down axis.
someone operating that dolly, is like turning that way, way too late. It's mental. It is actually mental how late that is. But anyway, still a cool shot for a trailer. The axe going into the cake. So I was like, I'm gonna recreate this shot as best as I can. I didn't have the guts to do it like the really late up down axis, but I did it a little bit late, just as an homage to that lazy camera operator or dolly operator probably. So yeah, and this is just what it looks like. Downloading free plates and shit from Sketchfab, and just setting the table. So you can see here though. For some reason, there's some weird thing. There's like the shadow's not connecting with the blade of the knife, and it's like I could sit here because it's Eevee. It's not technically accurate, whatever. It's like there are all of these problems with shadow casting and ambient occlusion and all of that. So I could sit here trying untweaking. You're trying to figure out why that shadow's not being cast correctly, or bollocks. I could just just render the sucker out, and then in After Effects. Here we go. Look, I'll show you. Yeah, boom. Look at that. Done. Little black shape. Done. You just track it in. Of course, that's not the right way to do it, and it's even a little bit dirty. You can see the seam there. But you kind of got to pick your battles, and f it, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So that's what I did. Yeah, I just rendered that. What else? It's a pretty simple shot, because obviously you're just recreating the shot. Axe comes down. You can see I did a little bit of animation on the crockery so that it moves. Just, it's barely noticeable, but what else? Oh, yeah, the candles. That's just a picture. I don't even think it's a video. Might be a video of a candle. On a transparent. Same as the Steam, and you just put that sucker on there. This Happy Birthday Rodeo Jones is a curve where you do that thing where you draw a curve onto a surface, then convert it to a mesh. There's plenty of tutorials on that. If you type in drawing curve on surface Blender tutorial, I'm sure you'll find something. Cool. Right, moving on. So what's next? Hallway shot. Again, this is just a hallway. I think you just type in hallway on Sketchfab, you'll find this. It's comes with all of these markings and looks very haunted. So, in a project like this, why resist? Just download that model, keyframe some lights, do a camera keyframe a camera motion. You're done. Why not do that? That's just free. Moving on. Unfortunately, I don't have anything in this room. I can't get into it, but all the source files are on a different computer because I recycled an old set from a film. Well, from this film that I made called The Motel. Check it out. Links right here. And yeah, I can't even get into it. Don't want to corrupt the source file. So sorry, you can't see that project file. But we can skip straight ahead to this one, the Telekinesis Girl. This is that same set, as the crucifix or the window. I'm not even changing. I'm saving the same baked animation of the curtains because why? Why not? And animating all of this stuff by hand. As you can see, she's pretty ugly at the front there. There's some sort of rigging issue, but it really doesn't matter because again, I know the angle I'm shooting it from. I know it's from behind. Yeah, I know that I'm not going to see her face. She's going to be basically a silhouette. So yeah, I just didn't bother really. I even think my animation my animation sucks. Let's be honest. I can't. I just can't. I can't spend too long on every shot. So the moment it's close enough, I just move on. Just quickly, that's that same set from earlier. As I said, here we go. Just added this bookshelf. That's a really nice model. Actually, recommend. It's quite low poly and good. And yeah, this is the model of the room. Yeah, child's room, toy box. And I think I rebuilt the walls, but I used some of the props. I might have retextured them, but that carpet's just great. That's the classic carpet that kids had when I was a kid. They had that sort of stuff. Yeah, light in the back, silhouette, and done. Obviously, volume scatter, done. Moving on. What's next? Gas station. Right. This is a shot. this is a shot I quite like. Very simple shot. Just found this gas station model, again, free on Sketchfab. I think I did a little bit of customizing. Here, let's have a look. Yes, that looks longer. Yeah, some steam coming out the back of the car. That car model is so great, isn't it? Here, let's go. Oh, so yeah, that cowboy guy standing, that's just a Mixamo animation. Let's find the one. Oh, it's the witch. You're going to see this witch later on. There we go. I think it's Sad Idol. Yeah, there it is. That's a really really like this Mixamo one. It just feels good. So yeah, that's that. And that car model is there are so many great cars on Sketchfab. I don't know where it is, but that's not the one, but it's something like that. Yeah, you'll find it if you look long enough. There are loads of great car models. Well, I mean, here, I'll quickly show you the gas station model. If you type in gas station, I think, yeah, this is the one here. So as you can see, I did very minimal adjustments, actually. I just made the roof a little bit bigger. And, yeah, put some of my nice trees in the back there. That's it, really. And it's all in the lighting. It's all in the lighting, guys. So, yeah, volume scatter. But it's like, so here, look, I'll tell you, if I pick up this little light here and move it away, it's like this, the shot still looks fine, but it like gives it that focal point. It leads your eye. It's just simple shit. You just, you want that brightest point to lead your eye. Or let's look at this light back here. It's like, you can get rid of it. You can put it in a different spot. But where I've put it, like, I just feel it, yeah, guides the eye. Look, okay, if you put it up there, it's like kind of a bit more moody, a bit more haunted. You put it down here, everything gives it a different feel. You kind of just want to, go with your gut. Go with, again, what's easy on the eye, what's pleasing. Okay, moving on. Pumpkin shots. Okay. Well, here's the project file. Pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. The source file for the newspapers is gone. Well, forget it. They just have to be purple. So yeah, again, typed in pumpkin, downloaded a bunch of nice pumpkin models, popped them on a wall. Oh yeah, I downloaded this severed head model. I typed in gore. There she is. There you go. That's that model right there. I think I tweaked the subsurface scattering a touch, but yeah, I did, yeah. And yeah, for the papers, again, it's another Hubert tutorial. It's this guy, this classic animating papers in Blender. Check that out. It's, rigid soft bodies, whatever. Yeah, it's a great tutorial. Basically, use it all the time. And yeah, just about the lighting, you get that lighting sorted out. Put little point lights in each pumpkin. Pop a little HDRI. You're done. Actually looks like quite a nice place to live by the sea, that. Okay, moving on. Hospital. Here's the project file. I think with this one, I was starting to get a little lazy, so I didn't... Yeah, I think I used the same project file for all three. Yeah, you can see the cameras are just sort of placed there, which is fine to do, to be honest. This is just what it looks like, guys. A bunch of models put in place. Like, that's it, really. You can see, yeah, I can switch between cameras. This is the overhead. And here, let me find the set. I'm pretty sure it's, yeah, hospital hallway. Here it is, boom. So this is, and what's nice about this set is it's kind of modular, so I could kind of copy, delete the back wall and copy and paste the hallway and basically extend that as long as I wanted. So yeah, that's that, guys. For the Mixamo, the doctor, I think I just chose a wheelbarrow and then changed the height of his hands. I actually don't even think he's holding he's not holding anything. It just looks like he is. So again, knowing your angles, get away with shit like that. He's not fucking touching anything. What else? Lighting. Yeah, some flashing lights to obscure the eeviness, and that's it. In terms of this guy in the bed, again, he will have been something from Sketchfab, probably typed in monster. I can't see him here. Oh, this guy. He's an old friend. I used this free model in my movie Preacher, Redeemer of Lost Souls, which you can check out here. This is the violin demon.
Just one more thing. I beg you. Praise Christ.
That's good to see him again. All right. Next shot. Glove over glove hovering over a bunch of tools. It is what it looks like. I just reused the hospital set. I didn't even bother attaching that hand to anything. There's some missing textures. That's why that's purple under there. Don't worry about it. That's it, boys. That's it. That's literally the shot. Yeah, cool. You get it. Moving on. Interior lab. Okay. So, yeah, look at this. Look at this. Yeah, look at his feet. Like, look how bad this is. The set is, if I remember correctly, interrogation room. Let me have a look. Yeah. So thank you to Denny. Interrogation room, I clearly scaled it up a bit and sort of f***ed with the dimensions a bit. Oh, also, gut in a jar. Classic model. Gut in a jar. Respect. Yeah. Animate the camera, pulling focus. Originally, actually, the shot's a lot longer than it's in the. You know, I was originally, you could see the homunculi, you could see the stuff in the jars, then you pull focus to the shadow, then you pull focus to his hand, and then it sort of tenses up. It just didn't work. It didn't flow with the rest of the shot. At this point, the pace of the film is kind of ramping up, and I couldn't get away with these long shots. So yeah, animated by hand. That, you know, it's really shit. As you can see, the animation is shit. That's kind of why I'm showing you this, because it's like it's hard to. It's obviously, you know, the final product looks how it looks. I'm not saying it's the best animation, but it looks okay. But you see how lazy you are, or how lazy I am, I should say, behind the scenes. I don't know. For me, that's inspiring. Like, it's like, oh, great, cool. That way I can do a shot with, a trailer with however many shots this trailer has. Because if I'm trying to make everything perfect and work from every angle, I'd never finish it. Okay, next shot. Car POV. This one was one I very nearly didn't put in. But I really don't believe in the sunk costs fallacy. But I just felt like I needed to, because I spent so much time on it. I didn't want to ditch it. I even downloaded an add-on for it. But I'll talk about that in a sec. So yeah, this is the forest asset reused on either side of a road asset. Cloth simulation on the dress, cloth simulation on the hair, using a different head. I don't know why, I can't remember. She's not even rigged. Lazy. Here's the car add-on. I think it's what is that? RSB or some shit. RBC car blender. Yeah, there we go. RBC free. You check that out. You can rig a car very easily. It's not the most intuitive to use, but hey, it's free. The paid version apparently is much better. Anyway, moving on. There's not much else to talk about in this project file. It's pretty basic. Okay, motel. Okay, here's another thing I recycled. Yeah, so this is a guy. I've animated this. I've then found him some pajamas, placed him in a T pose, so that the pajamas, it's like you place him in a T pose, and then, you know, you have that keyframed, and then he pops into his position in bed, so that the clothes kind of move with him, and you have a pin group. I shouldn't explain how you dress a character in Blender. I think there's probably, you'd go to a tutorial specifically for that. But it's about pin groups, and I parent the object to a specific bone, like the pelvic bone, and that's it, really. Yeah, it took a while to get this shot working in terms of the feeling of it. It's obviously inspired by that painting I showed you earlier. So for the ceiling, it's just an ocean modifier with a couple keyframes to give it that kind of warp sort of thing. And again, it's all about the lighting, a couple flashing lights, a couple silhouettes, that's it. The caustics. Now, this is the thing I think goes unnoticed, really, in this shot. And actually, it's quite annoying because it took fucking forever to get them caustics going. But it'll be one of those tutorials out there. And yeah, that's that. Oh, here, quickly. So yeah, obviously this was the inspiration for this one. You know, this is like, it's got the framing, it's got the concept. Cool, I'll just do that. I feel zero guilt about finding and painting and then recreating it myself. Like, that's me making art. I don't care, okay? I don't care. So if anyone's like, oh, but you're just copying someone else's work, like, what are you doing? It's like, well, it's like, yeah, okay, great, call the cops. You know what I mean? I like, don't know what to tell you. Just enjoy yourself. Have fun. Like, okay, next one. Bathroom. Okay, cool. Again, it's all the same shit. You know, you download a model from Sketchfab, you populate it with a, you know, something or other, and again, it's coming up with a concept off the bat. Oh, well, quickly, I'll show you, this is an interesting thing. So the volume scatter, how have I done this? Because this, you know, it needs to look like a steamy bathroom. So it's not just your standard volume scatter. You got a volume scatter. Into that, you have a color amp, adding a bit more contrast. Into that, you have a noise, where you adjust the scale, and then I have a keyframed the texture coordinates on the z-axis so that the steam rises, if that makes sense. Yeah, that should make sense. And then I added a bunch of the steam planes, the mist planes. I did this, yeah, the see-through curtain thing. And that's it. I animated her by hand. I initially wanted to do it with mocap, but the model was just screwing me. So I just when I say mocap, I mean Plask video mocap, Plask. Check that out. But anyway, I just did it by hand and then put a collision modifier on her. Yeah, I just went. I didn't do like a substitute low poly thing where you push the curtain and then you hide it. I just actually used her geometry and it worked fine. Okay, moving on. Next shot is this weird tunnel thing. I don't think it's worth talking about much, but here's the project file. There's the geometry. Here's the move. I don't know where this one came from. I just had an idea for this kind of. Well, what it was, it actually came from the Atari logo. I just thought, imagine a room shaped kind of like an Atari logo. So and then with some grays at the end just to make it more interesting. Done. Moving on. What's the next shot? Baby face. This is as simple as it looks. It's just a baby face rotating in front of a black plane with a few colored lights. That's it, really. Okay, moving on. Oh, baby hallway. Baby hallway. Photo scan of a hallway. Shitty model of a crib. Keyframe that sucker going back and forth. And then extrapolate the hallway outward with a black. I mean, that's it. That's what it looks like. The lighting is what does it. Oh, also, you can see here my camera. I'm keyframing the focal length so that it goes from, you know, like a 20 or 30 or whatever to an impossible focal length of 1. That's how you get this sort of distortion stuff. Yeah, I'll almost certainly be keyframing Shakerfies. And you. Yeah, just do some flashing lights. And that looks good to me. Moving on. This one, yeah, it's just a model of an alien and a model of some rocks. One light source. Yeah, okay, so here's where I got yeah, I think it might be this, or just, yeah, I typed in rocks and downloaded that, and then I typed in alien and I found an alien. So yeah, there's only one light source, really. Well, one major light source. Now, the problem with that is that you have to be very, like, you see, now I've moved it there. I already think that looks better than what I chose. What do you guys think? It's so difficult. The silhouette's less defined there, though. But yeah, that's the problem with having one light source. Like, it could go anywhere, and it could, in theory, look good. I ended up settling on, not that. And, you know, who knows if I made the right choice. I think it looks good enough. Anyway, moving on. Next shot is, oh, the saucer. This is a good one. Yeah, this is what it looks like. That same grass plane probably from earlier. The forest stuff on either side. That particle system thing and oh yeah, this very lazy little bit of cloth pinned to his shoulder. It looked like a scarf or something or other. You see, it's like little things like that do a lot of heavy lifting. Yeah, again, it's just the lighting, you know, the steam on either side or the mist on either side, and yeah, motion blur. It just kind of does it. Like, you can see how lazy my animation is. You can see how minimal the set is. It's fine. Okay, next one. Supermarché. Okay, so this is the supermarket set. For the ceiling, here's another Hubert asset. It's the office ceiling. This is a absolutely rocket source asset. You can keyframe the lights, change the color temperature. You can make it infinite. It's very useful for offices or whatever. Anyway, perfect for a supermarket. Shelves. I found the shelves on, you guessed it, Sketchfab. Typed in supermarket and got these models. Great. Array modifier. And then in terms of for the actual shot, what am I doing? Just keyframing a camera. I have the torch parented to the camera and then rotating that kind of independently of it. That makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah. This is kind of backrooms-ish. Anyway, moving on. We got this. Yeah, these two paintings. I'm just going to show you one of them because it's the same setup. So yeah, typed in painting, portrait. Oh, look, here they are, just hanging out next to each other. I wonder why I picked those two. Probably laziness. And for the blood, it's just, yeah, that's it. It's just literally a tiny little red solid growing out of the eye. Bit of camera shake, bit of lighting, bit of parallax. You got a spooky shot. Done. Okay, cowboy boots. This was slightly interesting. It's the same room set as before, even with the same cached curtain stuff. Didn't bother changing that. But I found this model of these boots, and I used shape keys. So I kind of cut the model right where the sole meets the leather. And yeah, I see that it's in two separate pieces. I kind of selected it sort of like this. Obviously, you know, I went in very carefully, and then I pulled it with proportional editing into this position, and you know, used that as a shape key. I then did the same with this piece, which is a mouth of an alligator. So I found let's go find it. I found an alligator model. This one right here, because it was rigged. I knew that there would be bones and stuff on the mouth, which I didn't end up using, but it just meant that I know that the detail would be there, that there would be enough detail for the model to be able to open its mouth. Oh, by the way, this bed, man, that is such a good model. Let's quickly, I just want to shout out this model. Hospital bed, I'm pretty sure it was called. Yeah, there it is right there. It's already a staff pick, but man alive, this is a good model. I mean, yeah, beautiful. Oh, look, it says inspired by horror game. Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, great 3D model. Look at the creasing of the sheets there, perfect. So yeah, there you go. Keyframed, shape keyed both of them, bit of lighting. Ooh, added a couple socks under the bed, which detail nobody notices, and yeah, that's that. Fun. Moving on. We're nearly done, guys. Nearly done. Rodeo's Diner. Well, here you go. I mean, this is the project file for that. You can see how minimal it is. I'm using the environment, the HDRI, to imply more detail. You see, look, I can spin it around here because I've got texture coordinates, whatever. See, if I spin it on the z-axis here, like, yeah, it gives a different look. So I'm actually just using that to imply more detail in the scene. That's it. That's that same car model as before. That's even the same fucking guy with the same animation of the sad idle animation. Whatever. Recycling it. Whatever. We got shots to do, man. We got to pump out some shots. Here quickly. This is the diner. Yeah. That's the model of the diner. Yeah, cool. What else we got? Oh, cool. Fuck, we're on the final shot. So this is just a shot of hands. I can't find the model at the moment. I might have typed in horror or something. I'm sorry. I'm not going to spend my time trying to find this model. It's a really cool model, though. Unfortunately, it would be nice to credit the guy, but anyway, here. This is a model. It was static, so what I did was I changed the origin point. I did this. I set origin to 3D cursor on each hand, so I could just animate them slightly. In different directions. They are intersecting a bit, but you can get away with it. And then I spun the back thing. And then I keyframed the camera moving towards it, spun the camera, then I parented the camera to an empty and spun that. And then I keyframed the focal length, like I did with the pram shot in the hallway, to compress the space. And I think it turned out wonderfully, personally. This is my favorite. It's one of my favorite shots of the piece. And I remember when I rendered this one out, I thought, "All right, buddy, this is it. You're done. You can't keep rendering more horror shots. This is a great shot. Let's just end on this." So that is what I did ultimately. Here, let's quickly open up the After Effects file for the hands shot while we're here. Here you can see everything I did, which is okay, so here it is right out of the box. Boom, VHS on top of that. You can see the pop line frequency on the on the VHS plugin. Pop line frequency, I always have at 0. Those pop lines are a dead giveaway that it's the VHS Red Giant plugin. I never want to see those pop lines again, right? So 0 them pop lines. Levels, classic, adding the contrast, getting a bit more blue in there. VHS on top of that, all cool. And then again, pre-compose that, put the lighting on, channel blur, all of that. Then you do the two, with the blend mode to lighten, of course. Then you do dehancer on top of that. Now on dehancer, I'm only using the film grain and the bloom, I believe. The film grain is really incredible on dehancer. I'm not doing any of the color management stuff because this isn't shot with a camera, so it doesn't make sense to do that. So I'm just doing bloom and film grain. You see the bloom is like barely doing anything, but it just softens the edges a little. Takes the edge off, kid. So that's it. Pop the Demonoid title on top of that, and you're done, son. I mean, literally, that's it. Now, you may notice there's one shot here, this little bus stop shot, that I haven't broken down. That's because I'm going to play that out at the end, the entirety. Well, it would be sped up, but I'm just show you the entire process, because I actually ended up filming the whole process of that project, just from start to finish. So I'll play that now. Yeah, so thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful to somebody. Yeah, if there's any questions of any sort, if I didn't cover something or whatever, please ask. I will respond. Yeah. So take her easy, sinners, and catch you later on down the trail.
Many strange things happen around here.
There is a tale.
It was a night like tonight, many years ago.
In association with De Laurentiis Entertainment Group.
When the moon is full, he's out there stalking in the woods.
Based on a true story. Demonoid. Based on a novel by Stephen King.
It is up to you to determine whether you wish to subject yourself to fear, terror, shock. Because of the bizarre nature of this birthday party, pray you're not invited.
From director Mario Bava. Special guest director for the Hall of Blood sequence, Lucio Fulci.
Why must they kill what's already dead?
She just needs a chance to be normal.
If I concentrate hard enough, I can move things.
You want to see your daughter in the hospital for the rest of her life and say what you want?
What's happening to me?
My cousin heard voices too, before he was committed.
Prepare yourself for the most intensely shocking motion picture of our time.
Demonoid.